Welcome back to another round of student reviews. I'm Sam. If you've not met me before, hello, welcome. We're going to dive into some student submissions today, talking about finger posture, how you can improve your dexterity, how you can improve chord movements, all that good stuff, as we always do. So if this is your first time, sit back, relax, get ready for an awesome learning opportunity. If this is your 5th, 6th, 7th, 30th, 100th time, thanks for being here, as always. It's so much fun to see all of us here in the chat. I see Bonnie, aka 2 Cups of Coffee. Valentina, you have a review today, which is great. I'm very excited for that. Oregon Jim, Off-Grid Mams, hello, hello. Ursula, Beth C. Wilson, Kathy from Sydney, David T. Hello, David. David's actually over there as well. So he's just making sure tech is working. So it's all good. Who else do we have here? Karen Lee, which is great. Or is it Lay? Karen Lay? Awesome. Awesome. So things are warming up, right? Oh, Lance B. Hello, hello. Things are warming up outside up in the Northern Hemisphere. So a lot of us are going out and yeah, it's outside time. So thank you for taking the time to submit reviews. I hope you're preparing for summer recitals as well. One other thing I want to say before we start here is that the submissions that came in for this session, we only have 5 submissions today. Usually we do 6, but because there were so few submissions, we only have 5. So unless we get more submissions by the end of today, we're going to probably cancel tomorrow's student review session. I know, it's sad to hear. But if there's no students to review, well then we can't do student reviews. So if you want to get your videos in before the end of today, no rush, there's no rush, we can always do it next week. But if you do have something in the hopper, ready to go, you just haven't really sent it yet, send it in. We would love to see you, we'd love to give you some feedback, and really excited to kind of show you some things that you can do on your piano. Maybe you send you something, can't have you out of work, Sam. Oh no, there's lots of work to do. But yes, if you do want to submit a review, Lance or anyone, we're more than welcome to take those on for sure. It'd be great. I have a chilling video of Let It Be, that could help. Sun, what's that? Yes, I know, it feels like, especially here, it's been raining a ton. So it's been really hard to catch some sun rays. But today, it's kind of like really dark, patchy cloud. So it's like a little patch of dark cloud, and then it's like sun, and then it's like dark cloud. It's really weird. It's really hard to tell what's going to actually happen. So today, for student reviews, we have... You ready? You ready for it? Suspense is killing me too. John WC, Grethel S, MsCinnamon. We also have Patricia Ireland and Valentina Vineyard. So very exciting, very much looking forward to jumping into these. Yes, my Hawaiian shirt. It's not really a Hawaiian shirt, really. It's kind of, well, I don't know, maybe a little bit. It kind of has those tiki vibes, you know. But I think of this as like art. If I do this, art. Maybe. I don't know. Hawaiian, says Lance B. All right, okay. All right, here. All right, let's dive in, shall we? Yes, they're dry clean only. John W.C. The goal here is to have fun. What do you want to improve on? Accuracy, which is great. Biggest weakness here is accuracy, which is also great. What do you want the instructor to focus on? Hi. I'm playing Comptine d'un autre été. The video is mirrored as I use my front phone camera, unfortunately. I feel my accuracy is bad and my left hand gets achy with the repetitive movement. When using a metronome, I find it harder to recover from a mistake when I'm trying to record. Any tips welcome. I've done foundations, but little else. My warm-up is just a few finger stretches at best, and I'm not sure of the difference between warm-ups and playing. I've plateaued on my quality. Cheers. Okay, so lots of interesting things to talk about here. One thing I do want to say is if your video is mirrored, don't stress. We can definitely see your hands. We can definitely see what's actually happening. So there's no worries there at all. It's really great to see regardless of the mirrored or not. So thank you for sending this in. I'm going to make sure that this is the right video, which it is. And we're going to take a listen here right away. Let's take a look. All right, so fantastic stuff here. Really cool. Really cool. This is a tough tune. Lots of triplets, lots of really fast-paced playing, and you did an amazing job at getting through all of it consistently, confidently. There's some hesitations here and there, but overall, you seemed really confident with your decisions, and you were taking your time, which was really, really good to see. So I'm just gonna dive into my notes here, tap into the mainframe. Great work playing through this piece. Accuracy is an important element of the actual song itself, and I'm glad you're taking your time to work through it slowly without any mistakes. So, taking that time to right? Those rhythms are really hard. So right? Taking your time to go through nice and slowly, really, really helpful. So keep doing that. Make sure you isolate the areas that you find you're hesitating, right? So if there's spots that you can't really move quickly in between them, be mindful of those spots, right? Either circle them in your piece or just make a mental note, be like, oh yeah, that's a tricky one. I gotta watch that. And then isolate, right? Just focus on moving. Focus on moving. And then once you get to that point where you're like, okay, now I feel more comfortable, let's try and integrate it back into the full piece. That's definitely something that I would love to encourage you to continue practicing, just so you feel more confident in those sections that you're hesitating slightly. Valentina, I can definitely see what I can do. I think so. I think we can get that. We can get that done. So, John WC, I noticed that all of your power is coming from your fingers and not your wrists when you are pressing down. So, this is one thing that I really, really, really encourage you to think about as well. When we're pressing down on the piano, right, we can use a lot of our wrist to really control how quiet or how loud we're playing. So So our wrist is really giving us that kind of that dynamic lever, right? Where we can, let's call it the dynamic throttle. So we can really tap into it and get really loud, or we can dial it back and play really gently with those wrists. Yes, definitely refresh. Refresh if you are having some challenges with the video. Also, good joke, Jim. So, using your wrists allows you to kind of keep all the fingers resting on the piano as well. This will help get you ready for all of those jumps, right? Right? If you keep your fingers on that piano resting, you can go really, really quick. Right? That's the secret. If you have your hands up, right? That is really gonna impede you from going quickly and playing smoothly with this piece. So just let your fingers rest on the piano a little bit. I should have went to this one first. So keep your fingers resting, right? Just all 5 fingers resting on just a clump of 5 keys, right? That's what I challenge you to do there with your finger tension. This will help with the faster sections for sure. Playing in time is extremely tricky, and I would love for you to try to ensure that you are working through your rhythms consistently. So isolating the spots that are feeling like you have those hesitations. I know you said practicing with a metronome is tedious, and as tedious as it is, it really, really does help, especially when we're going slowly, right? So even if you wanted to put your metronome at a really slow tempo, ba, 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 and bum 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 bum. See, that's still pretty fast. Right? So make sure that you have a slow enough speed that you can get all of those transitions nice and smooth. The slower the better, because the slower you start, the faster you'll be able to play down the road. So don't automatically shut off the idea of metronome just because you don't like it. It's a hard thing to do, and as humans, we do have our biases, right? Oh gosh, no, I would never. You know, for me, it's, you know, certain foods. I'm just like, no, but it's a bias, right? So just try that metronome, right? See what it can do for you. Allow it to try and help you. That's my advice for you there. Counting out loud also helps too, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That can also help as well, especially those little moments where you have those triplets moving into something else. So yeah, try using scales and other things with the metronome click before you start this, right? Would I use it from the start or when I know the notes well? Use it from the start, John, the metronome. So if you want to start with the metronome, play through with it, right? So I can't remember how the song actually goes. There. So, right? Give yourself 4 clicks. So we're getting ready. And 1, 2, and here we go. And wrong fingers, but that's okay. And that would be the next part. I don't know the notes. I'm just playing the same thing to show you where that lines up. Right? Right? And 4, and 1, and 2. Right? So giving yourself that click will really help. Line things up. Something like that. So I hope that makes sense. Trying to line up those metronome clicks with the melody, the left hand. Play until you get to a spot where you hesitate, right? And when you hesitate, that's a sign. Okay, I have to isolate this section and move through it. Definitely something that I would hope you consider taking on. Yes, Karen Lee, if you hate the metronome, that's a very, very good insight. If you do not like that click, if it drives you up the wall and it just does not vibe with you at all, find some drum tracks, right? Do, tss, ka, tss, do, tss. You can get like weird drum loops that you can manipulate. I'm pretty sure there's like Google thing you could look up. If not, let me know, John. And Karen Lee, I should say. I don't know if you have a forum thread on this, but John, if you have ability to connect in the forums with Karen about this, I think that would be an awesome opportunity for you guys to work together on that. If you guys are willing, of course. Try using a scale to stay consistent, of course, if the song is really, really challenging, right? Yeah, that's definitely what we should work on. All right. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing you in your next review. Take care. Happy practicing. Hope this helps, John. And looking forward to seeing you soon. All right, so Valentina, I usually don't do this, but because you spoke up in the chat here, I was paying attention. I was able to catch that you have a meeting at 11 my time, so in about 45 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, just because we only have 5 reviews today, I'm down to move things around a little bit. So Valentina, I'm gonna review you now, and then we will jump back into our order with Grethel, MsCinnamon, and then Patricia. Yes. So yeah, there'll be 3 more after that. All right, cool. So Valentina, let's dive in here a little bit to your goals. So the goal is to be able to play for family and friends and even other audiences, to be able to play higher level pieces and improve sight reading. There are many, but highest priority is speed and accuracy. That's the improvement. I definitely just read through both of those. So improving on speed and accuracy. Goal is to be able to play higher level pieces. What do you want to improve on? There are many. I just read that. Biggest weakness, speed. I have a hard time playing faster. I can't read today. What the heck? And then what should the instructor focus on? This is a piece from Melody Bobber called Night Shadows from her intermediate level solos book. I learned this in December when I was just 2 months into my piano journey, and I have been practicing it every so often so I don't forget it. I took a video back in January and then I did it again now, and I can see a big improvement, even though I haven't practiced it much. So I think my playing is improving in general. I need some advice, what else I can do to make this sound more professional. So let's take a listen to Valentina here. Do I have the right video? Yes, Night Shadows, Melody Bear, 6 months. Perfect, okay. Very good. All right, let's take a look and a listen to your performance. Then we'll come back and talk about it some more. Here we go. All right. Very well done. Great work. So, the name of this one is Melody Bobber. Oh, it's from Melody Bobber, called Night Shadows. So Melody Bobber is the composer, Night Shadows from her intermediate level solos book. Yes, Melody Bobber is the composer. I realize that now. Very cool. Night Shadows is the name of the piece. Lovely, lovely tune. So Valentina, let's dive into what I wrote down here. So this is really, really great. I love this performance. I thought you played very musically here, which is great to see. One thing that I always think about when I have those big sweeping arpeggios, right? Right, I think we're in A minor here. Right, something like that. I'm not sure if that's exactly what we were playing here, but sweep up with quiet to loud. Something like that, right? So, right, you can hear how those whoop, it kind of works from bottom to top. Right? So think about that way. It's like you're almost sweeping. You don't want to over sweep, right? So just enough to kind of right? That really helps kind of bring out the story, right? Right? It really creates that intrigue. So something to play around with for sure. I would recommend rotating your wrists here a little bit to ensure that you're playing with your hands lined up with the piano keys themselves to ensure that you're playing as efficiently as possible. So right now, right, if we were to play like this, right, we're gonna have a tough time hitting our thumbs and our second fingers accurately. Same thing here, if we go inwards too much, right? This is an extreme example, but if we go inwards, our pinkies are gonna have a tough time moving around and hitting things accurately. So we wanna kind of have a middle ground, right? Of nice and straight arms all the way down. Right? So you can see that my arms are going in a little bit only for the notes I need to. So when we're playing, try to make sure that those wrists are a little bit straighter. I think that's going to really help down the road, make your playing more efficient, and yeah, really fun. Using more of your wrists to play through this piece will be a benefit for sure. Again, with those dynamics, right? Having your wrist move a little bit will also help with the straightness, but it will also help with the dynamics because you're actually going to be able to control them, but like we talked about in our last review. To increase speed and accuracy, start playing slowly and build it up from there. You can use scales, hand-in exercises, and anything else you find in the lesson library, but those two specifically. So starting with, scales. Even 5-note scales are great, but C major, right? You can go nice and slow to start. What I like to do is I like to play up all the major scales. So this not only tests my theory, but it also tests my accuracy. So C major. Oop, haha. C major is the easiest one. How did I make a mistake? Happens. D major. E major, F major, and so on. And you can go G, A, B, C. So that also really helps if you ever want to do like choir play-alongs or you want to like play for a choir. They always do those like major, Right, so you can go up major by major by major. So that's a really great exercise to try out if you want to take that on. But hand-in exercises as well, that'd be a great way to increase your finger accuracy, your precision, all that good stuff. Very good stuff. Yes, Kathy, we are celebrating a birthday as well as the Chords and Scales book on Friday, live stream. Looking forward to that for sure. Okay, so for 6 months of playing, this is wonderfully prepared. I thought you did a really good job playing through this. Really great work. I would love to challenge you here again with some more dynamics. Just tell the story a little bit more. It's incredible how much emotions can get, how many emotions we can get out of our playing if we take the time to really kind of invest in them. And they're not going to show up unless we're thinking about them, right? They're not just going to arrive. So be mindful of that. Tell a story, right? Tell us what's happening in this piece. It doesn't have to be specifics. It could be just like, oh, a farmhouse on a field. What would that sound like, right? Or, oh, it's a storm cloud with the house on the field, right? No, things have changed. So think about those while you're playing, right? Think about what the song's trying to say. You can also kind of do some research on the piece too, if you want more context. So I'm sure in the big wide world of the interwebs, there's got to be some description of this piece. The composer probably did like a write-up on it or something, just to kind of say, yeah, what's this about? You know, maybe if you're lacking the ideas or you're lacking a story, you can't really think of one. You can always look for the composer's detailed or less detailed depiction of the story for some inspiration. And with that, I leave it with you. So keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing you in your next review. Glad we got to sneak you in here before your meeting. Thanks for bringing that up. In the meantime, though, lots of dynamic work, I think, and just confidence, right? You have the skills to do it. Be confident in your decisions. Be confident in your playing, and I'm sure that you're just going to find that your playing just gets better and better and better. Yeah, for sure. That'd be great to see you in here more often. For show. For show. All right. Cool. I think we are going to wrap it up there. Awesome. Great job, Valentina. And good luck on your meeting. Meetings are always, sometimes meetings can go really well, or they're just like shot in the dark, I had a big meeting yesterday. I had to make a big presentation. It was like, a little scary. So I wish you the best of luck in your meeting. Let's move on to Grethel. Hello, Grethel. Grethel S. Goal is developing left hand. What do you want to improve on? Left hand independence and rhythm. Biggest weakness here is timing and left hand. And what should the instructor focus on? This is from the developing a left hand accompaniment. I can't do the more rhythmic ones, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm submitting just the broken left hand. I know I'm going very slow on the video, but I would love to get any feedback on it to make sure that I am on the right path. All right. Grethel. Before we get into Grethel, though, Dan Harper, what happened to the jazz classes? I do not see them anymore. What are you saying here? Jazz lessons are gone? Which ones are you looking for, my friend? If you're looking for Jesus Molina or the gospel stuff with Erskine Hawkins, those are there. If you're looking for jazz lessons inside of the method, that's in level 8 of the method. But I would love to hear from you, Dan Harper, if you're finding some challenges there. Let me know in the chat here, or you can reach out sam@pianote.com or samv@pianote.com. All right, Grethel, let's take a look at your piece here. Let's dive into... Hold on. Make sure I got the right video here. Okay, awesome. Yes, we are good to go. I think we're ready to rock and roll. I think here we are. All right, let's do it. Here we go.
When I find myself very costly, thinking myself
Okay. Cool stuff. Bravo, bravo, Grethel. So let's talk about Let It Be. A lovely tune, one that we all know very well, I'm sure. This is kind of a tune that's everywhere inside of Piano Lesson Library, so good on you for taking it on. I really enjoyed your singing and playing here. This is not easy to do, and I'm glad that you're learning and trying to apply both skills right away. This is great. Also, welcome to our community as well. If this is your first student review session, thanks for being here. We're glad you're here. One thing that I think is interesting is that you have those letters on your keyboard. And I know you had just mentioned that you're working to take them off in the chat, which is amazing to hear. I am not a stickler for this kind of thing. I know Lisa says get them off. Or I can't remember what Lisa says. I think Lisa says get them off. Cassie says get them off. Somebody says get them off in here. I don't know who it is. I can't remember. But for me personally, I think a maximum of 2 weeks with piano stickers is the maximum amount of time that you should have them on your piano. Because if you give yourself that hard deadline of 2 weeks with the stickers, right? Then you'll say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take this on. I know my notes now. I'll be able to play them without the stickers. That is so important. So important. Because if you rely on those stickers for the rest of your piano career, you will never be able to play a piano outside of your house because you won't feel comfortable. It won't never sound as good. So make sure that you're trying to push away from those stickers after 2 weeks. I know to start learning the notes, it's very, very convenient. You know, oh yeah, that's a C, that's a C, that's a D, that's a A, that's a G, that's a G, that's a B, right? We can identify them quickly, but it's training your brain to think about them without the stickers, right? So 2 weeks max, get them off, and then try your best without them for a while and really apply that knowledge that you've tried to learn, that you're trying to apply, and you'll see that you'll be shocked at how easy it is once you do it a few times. You can always go back and check your work, right? Is this C? Right, that is C. Okay, cool. Committed to memory. Done. You will always remember that's C, and from then on, it's C, right? So it's about pushing yourself out of the comfort zone to make sure that you apply it and really understand where those notes are. So I'm not saying you have to do it right now, but definitely sometime within the next 2 weeks if you've just started. Take those things off the keyboard. Okay, so be sure to keep your left hand resting on the keyboard when you're playing through anything in the left hand, right? This is going to be a ton of benefits for you. A ton of benefits. This is going to be very beneficial. That's what I'm trying to say. So when we play arpeggios, right, the tendency is to have our fingers bounce around, right? Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it, Grethel. Don't do it. Let your fingers rest on the piano, right? Nice and easy. And let your fingers do the work. Let your wrists do the work, right? You don't have to jump. That's extreme, but you can see how much harder it is to have that connected feeling, right? Everything's really smooth. It's not when we lift our hands up, right? So, and a little bit of wrist rotation doesn't hurt either, right? That really helps. That was really hard to go up that high. I gotta work on my arpeggios here. Oh no! Right, so just make sure that you are getting that wrist movement in and not letting your fingers lift the piano. Just kidding. Lifting up, right? You don't want to lift them up. You want to keep them on the piano nice and rested. There we go. I missed the button 3 times. Sam, I think it's better not to think of them as letters, just notes in the same position where they live on the keyboard. I agree. I think there's some benefit to that for sure, 2111. For me personally, I think of them as the notes, the letters. So C, E flat, E, you know. That way it's just a little bit more conceptual when you're looking at it. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That can get really confusing really quick. Yes, you can also use do, re, mi as well. Beth C. Wilson, that's a very good point. So some places, instead of C, right, we call this do, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So like the famous song, a doe, a deer, a female deer, re, drop the golden sun, mi, a name, I call myself, a long, long way to run, so a needle pulling thread, right? That one. So solfege, right? It's great. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, la, mi, re, do. But the challenge is, as soon as you switch to a new key, right, things change. So C major, right? Do is C. Right? We have do, 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 do. But as soon as we change to a different key signature, let's go to G major. What is this? Is it so? Or is it do? Because now we're using this as the one. So here we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do. Here we have so or do. Uh-oh. So this is where the confusion can arise, especially with do, re, mi system, right? Where I grew up, and they stay where they are. So you have major, T minor. Yes. So do switches to the main note. So G would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? So when we're thinking about this, we have to think about the keys and all this stuff, and it really gets complicated when we're first learning. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C I think it's a little bit easier for learning purposes when we first start. Definitely a conversation though. Definitely something we can chat about for a long time. Sam, I meant the alphabet, not letters. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, and then we just repeat. Maybe we do that. Maybe that would make life so much easier. I don't know, maybe. All right, let's continue on here, Grethel. One other thing I would encourage you to look at here would be to play, with those straight wrists. We talked about that a little bit, but just ensuring that that angle is straight. So always being mindful of that, right? That's really, really important. Ensuring your arms are playing relaxed, right? And staying loose, that's important as well. When we're playing, especially these big arpeggios, right? Keep your arms relaxed, right? Nice and simple, nice and straight back. Right? Nice and fun. Cool. We're on student review 4 here, I think. I think this is 3, because we only have 5. Wait, is this 4? No, we did 1, we did 2, we did 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we still have 2 more. So this is 3. Awesome. So, Grethel, that's all I have for you for this review. Thank you very much for sending this in. Lots of amazing stuff happening here. Great, great work. Keep it up. Looking forward to seeing you in your next review. Take care and happy practicing as always. And I'll see you next time, hopefully very soon. So we have 2 more reviews here. Very good stuff. Hello, Ed. Hello, Schnippy. Hello, Kermit. Megan W. I haven't said hello to all of you yet. Beth C. Awesome, Grethel. Very glad. Very glad we were able to help out here. Okay, let's dive into the goals. So, MsCinnamon. The goal is, I just want to get better. What do you want to improve on? I am just a beginner, so I don't really know what I am doing right and wrong. Biggest weakness here is I am just a beginner, so I don't really know what I am doing right or wrong. That's the same thing. That's fair. What should the instructor focus on? I just finished level 2 of the method, so I thought that it would be helpful to send you a video of 3 songs, Let It Be, The Scientist, and Hallelujah, which were learned at this level to give me feedback before I go on to level 3. I started keyboard a few months ago, and I am just a beginner. And I don't know anyone who plays piano or keyboard, so I don't have any comments about my playing. Very cool. I'm glad you have our community here. I just want to I want you to give me some general comments / advices and feedback about my playing and to tell me what I'm doing right and what I have to improve on. P.S. I don't know how to use a sustain pedal yet, so I don't use it in the video. P.S. I have a hard time with arpeggios, so believe that I have made many mistakes at the Hallelujah song. Thank you for your time. Okay, MsCinnamon, we're going to dive right into your amazing performances here. We're not going to watch all of them. I have watched all of them, and I have some feedback for you, but we're just going to watch a few of them just to see kind of how your playing is going, and we can come right back. So let's take a listen here. Here we go. All right. Very cool stuff. This chair is so squeaky. There it is. Ah, ah. Cinnamon. Well done, MsCinnamon. I love that username. Yes, Schnippy nailed it. Playing with a backing track is very challenging. It is one of the probably the harder things to do when you're first learning because it just goes, right? It just keeps on rolling. Even if you make mistakes, it's not stopping unless you hit stop. So definitely kudos to you for taking on this challenge, playing with the backing track. Really, really great stuff. So you played Let It Be, you played The Scientist, and you played Hallelujah. So all of those three songs, again, super duper cool. In level 2, you have the method, you get to check this out and really learn and apply some skills to these songs. So good job taking on all of these and putting them all into one video, which is really cool. Your video was 12 minutes long. So that is a lot of playing. Very well done. Very cool stuff. Let It Be. You did a great job of playing consistently with the metronome. Very challenging to do. Again, thinking about those beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You said that it was really challenging for you to really think about the 1 and 2 and. So, oh no, that was last review. Sorry, I mixed up my reviews. So yeah, you are doing a good job of playing with these really consistent tempos, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just make sure that you apply that down the road as well in different time signatures. And I'll talk about Hallelujah in just a second. So the piano seems a little high here. The reason I think that is because your wrists seem to be almost bent downwards. So perhaps lowering the piano a little bit or raising your seat so that you're up above the piano. Your arms should really kind of feel like that. You can see that I'm straight here and I'm just going all the way down. My wrist is not dipping down or anything. I would use the side cam for this, but I have it set up for something a little bit different down the road here for the Scientist. So keeping your arm nice and straight and nice and relaxed so that you can really get the right? You really get the movement out of your hand for later on down the road. So that's what I would recommend for Let It Be. Just make sure you're feeling confident in those chord changes, looking for those target notes for each note, so that each chord, so that you know where you're going. This chair, I swear, I'm gonna have to get some WD-40. So yeah, that's what I think will really help with that. The Scientist, again, great consistency here with the metronome. You're playing really well with the click. Your chord progressions sound really confident. That's great to see as well. To use the pedal though, I would recommend pressing down on every chord and lifting on every chord change. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about it. So if I'm playing, right? What song are we playing? The Scientist? There we go. So there's the chord change. There's the chord change, and I'm lifting. So as soon as I press down, right, if I'm holding it down, I'm pressing my hands down and I'm lifting at the same time. So it doesn't matter what happens. I can do a lot of stuff in between, but I don't have to lift my pedal every time. As soon as my left hand moves, right, you can see that as soon as I get to a new note, my foot comes up and then back down. So that is how I would go about using the pedal. Really, really good stuff on that. Bye Carol, have a good one. I really think that if you are gonna take, this chair, if you take that kind of really slowly, work on your foot, kind of balancing out the timing with the left hand and the right hand, playing your chords, just lift after every press. So you're pressing and then lifting, press and lift. There are some lessons on the pedal that you can find in the lesson library, so go check those out if you haven't already done so. You can just type pedal into the search and you'll find all that you need to know. Now the last song here is Hallelujah. And Hallelujah is in 6/8 time, which means that we have 6/8 notes per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, right? 5, 6, 1, 2. So that's really going to change our pulse. And feeling that is really tricky, especially when we first start out, especially with a click as well and a backing track. So the nice thing is that you have the backing track that moves the chords, right, with the chord changes, which is great. So you can actually hear where the timing should be. Maybe get that chair oiled. I know, I definitely need to. It's not the best sound. But to be fair, it is a drum throne, so maybe that's what's doing it for me. Anyway, so yeah, 6/8 time. If you're counting out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So listen to the metronome here. My thumb, my fingers. Oh, there it is. I did a no-no and I fixed my mistake. Boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So I'm only clicking on beats 1 and beats 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you could do it alternatively, speed up the metronome and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So there are different ways to go about playing in 6/8. You can do the fast way or the slower way, where 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yes, Schnippy, very good point. So the click on beat 1 is louder than beat 4. This is true because it's strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak. So that really gives us a better sense of where the flow is in the music. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Ow, that hurt. 1, 5, 6, 1, right? Or 1. Oh, darn, I can't do that. Have you seen those videos where it's like, and like squeak the chair on the floor? I was trying to do that and it didn't work. So, hallelujah. When you're feeling more comfortable counting out loud or playing with the metronome, I think then it would be time to apply the backing track. Start to work on that a little bit more with kind of the chord movements. So listen really, really well to where those chords are moving. Make sure your left hand's matching that. And just, if you ever need to fall back on anything, just make sure you're counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to really, really help. So other than that, I hope this helps. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing you in your next review. As always, take care of yourself. Happy practicing. And I'll see you in your next review. Yeah. Or get a drummer. Yeah, that works too. All right, our last review of the day comes from Patricia Ireland. Hello, Patricia. Thank you for sending in your review. Let's take a look at what you have to work on today. Goal is smooth, confident playing for friends or small concert. Ooh la la! Are you putting on a big concert? Oh, sorry, I should say a small concert. If so, why not? Why not? How fun! What do you want to improve on? Dynamics, confidence with ease, and enjoyment. Biggest weakness here is stopping and starting. Mistakes, poor dynamics, and loud left hand. Okay. What should the instructor focus on? Irish Air, Attained by Phil Coulter. So, a lovely Irish tune here. Great chords, which will help in playing by ear, and savage lack of dynamics here. Okay. Very cool stuff. I think we should just dive right into this lovely performance of Patricia Ireland's song, which is Irish Air. So we're going to take a listen to that. Let's do that. I think we should do that. Yep. Let's do it. Okay, Patricia, well done. Really cool stuff here. This is awesome. So, Denise, I hope you're feeling better. I see you in the chat. Hope you're feeling better in no time. Bye, Valentina. Have a good meeting. Patricia Ireland, let's dive in. So, another beautiful performance here, Patricia. You were always just knocking these out of the park. Baseball reference, you know? It's gone. You absolutely crushed it. So really good stuff. I love your wrist motion here. It really helps control the dynamics that you're adding to the music. And I noticed that you were using it a lot more than normal. Just be sure to not overuse it, right? We don't want to overuse our wrists just so that we can, right? Always ask yourself, what's the purpose behind my wrist movement? That's going to really, really be important for down the road. Be sure to iron out any small hesitations, as those are small things that will take your playing to the next level. We've talked about that a little bit, but just make sure that those small hesitations, if they do come up, that you're really looking at how to iron out those small little details. Because that's where you're kind of at a point now where your playing is really good, and we want to polish it to get to the next stage. And that's honestly, that last little bit is probably the hardest part of learning a song, right? Because we'll learn stuff, then we have to unlearn some of those bad habits that we learned as we were learning it. So much learning. So much learning happening, right? So definitely something to keep in mind as you continue to pursue your piano playing journey here. You improve so much every single time I see you play the piano, and it's so wonderful to see, Patricia. It's really, really, really awesome. So keep up the great work. It's so inspiring to see you performing and playing the songs that you love, and it's great. Page turns are tricky. So we had a page turn, right? But try to give yourself enough time ahead of time to make sure that those transitions are going to really, really go smoothly. So, you know, if you're playing, right? Oh no, I have to turn the page, right? So if we're thinking about it ahead of time, maybe we memorize those 2 measures before, or 3 measures before. So we can go, okay, yeah. I'm just kidding. I lost track. But you know what I mean, right? We're looking at those 2 measures ahead of where we actually have that page turn. So we can say, okay, I know this. I know this part. I don't have to look at the music right up until the end. I can turn the page a little early, right? Or maybe there's a section in the music where there's a little bit of a break, right? So we have a big pause, flip. We now have the other little bit memorized. And we're back into the new part, right? So that's the trick, right? That's where we really want to try to get those transitions smooth with a page turn, right? And page turns are really hard. They're deceivingly hard. So something to think about when you're working through this piece. Prepare for the page turn. Try to memorize those 2 measures ahead so that you don't have to worry about it. You can just flip the page, good to go. Ooh, my goodness, excuse me. My eyes were gold. Did I make a weird face or something? I'm sure I made a weird face. I make weird faces a lot. Let's see. I want to see the weird eyes, Schnippy. I do make some weird faces, to be fair. I think it's coming. Yeah. Yep. The only thing that would have made it better if I crossed them. So, wouldn't you recommend just learn it by memory? So that is a great question. Yes. So you could learn everything by memory, which would be awesome, right? Ideally, you just be able to learn it all and memorize it. But realistically, if we don't want to or we don't have the time to memorize, then memorizing just a few little sections of, maybe the more challenging parts, that's okay too, because then you can use the music, those parts that you have for transitions or anything like that, and you can play through it, right? That was awful. But that's kind of the idea, where we're preparing ourselves for those really kind of stressful moments. So yeah, so memorizing it all, yes. I think ideally in a perfect world, if we all had photographic memories, we can just go memorize all the pages, and then we just like, oh yeah, I'm good. I can just like, right? And just play with your eyes closed. But realistically, right? Realistically, I think memorizing just small sections is a little bit more feasible, and it's a little bit more applicable if you want to really get that page turning. If that's not on the table, memorizing, don't worry, right? Just make sure that you are able to practice those page turns, right? We can page turn pretty quick, right? Go right? You can really kind of get there fast, so you don't have to panic. But in doing that, you tense up, right? Because you're going really quickly. So always just be nice and relaxed, page turns, or just photocopy the page and put it on the side. That's what I used to do. I used to just take that third page or the fourth page or whatever, photocopy those two, and then just put it on the side so I don't have to page turn. I just have 4 pages. It's great. It's easy. It's easy. Sam, I'm thinking when you are at your skill level, if you hum a tune, I'm sure you can play it. Yes, in my lovely brain, I've been able to kind of associate like da 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 ba da 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 da. But it's not the tones that I've memorized; it's the spaces. So, but that's something we can talk about maybe after this. I want to continue with Patricia's review here. So page turns. Try to memorize that a little bit if you can. I love the little run that you had here into the key change. It was so cool. It was so cool. You did a really good job of that. Just make sure you're feeling confident all the way through that, especially that transition, right? Landing on that chord, right? Landing nice and clean, really consistent. Use those target notes if you can. But yeah, really cool. Awesome. That's all I have for you, Patricia. So really good stuff. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing you in your next review. As always, take care and happy practicing. It's always great to see you performing and playing and having fun and learning and loving the piano. And that goes for all of you. It's really great to see. And with that, we've reached the end of our review sessions today. We only have 5 of us here today, which is 5 reviews, I should say. We have more than 5 of us here for sure. But yeah, really cool stuff. So if you have a student review that's waiting to go, you want to submit one in, we don't have any reviews for tomorrow session. We're kind of short. This is the first time it's happened in a while where we actually don't have a lot of reviews. We usually have tons, but we've caught up, which is really exciting, but also means that you can get your reviews in very soon. So if you want to be a part of the student review process, be sure to submit your video. It would be great to see you. It would be fantastic to see you in these sessions. But yeah, if you are working on summer recitals, that is okay as well. Do not stress. It's not mandatory by any means. We just might have fewer student review sessions leading up to summer recitals. But yeah, no pressure at all. Just saying that there is an opportunity for you to get immediate feedback right away. It doesn't happen often, which is cool. So that is where I will leave it for today, unless we have any questions in the questions tab, which I don't see any, which is awesome, but also okay. We can save some for Q&A later on next week. Some housekeeping items for sure. If I do not have student review submissions or enough of them to fill up a spot for tomorrow, I'm going to just postpone that student review session to next week. So we'll just push everyone. I will contact those who, if you are booked, I'll contact you to make sure that we move everything around. I'll also put something out in Facebook and in the forums as well, just to let everybody know that we will be postponing that review session until later on when we have some more review sessions come in. I know it's been a busy time of year for a lot of us, and taking care of ourselves is important. So if you are feeling a little bit stressed out by that, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. We can definitely get you in next week. Same thing. So And then on Friday, we have a lovely Chords and Scales live stream. We're going to be talking about the Chords and Scales book a little bit. We're going to be talking about Technique Tuesday a little bit. And we're going to be celebrating Lisa's birthday, which is tomorrow. Lisa's birthday is tomorrow, so that's exciting. But we're going to be eating cake as well. So hopefully you'll be able to join us there on that live stream on the 13th. I don't think it's in the calendar yet, but I will try to make sure that it's there. If not today, then early tomorrow, just to make sure we're all ready to go for that. And I think we're good. The pressure, yes. Sometimes pressure's good. Sometimes pressure's good, you know? Diamonds are made under pressure, right? Absolutely. Cool. Yes, Lisa's birthday on the 11th of May. Fantastic stuff. The pressure, says Lance. Yes, exactly. Woohoo! Lisa's birthday. Yes, definitely busy. I don't know. A lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people that I've talked to lately just seem very distant, and I think it's partly due to the busyness. And I think a lot of people, especially out of this 2-year pandemic, and everything's kind of going back to normal, but kind of not. It's kind of weird. So I think everyone's kind of tired and just emotionally drained. So definitely take care of yourselves. Drink water, sleep. I've been sleeping a lot more lately, and it's helped a ton. So yeah, lots of stuff. Carib says, Sam, where do I find the shop to get the book? That's a great question. If you go to your homepage, you go down to the very bottom of this. Oh, look at that. Lance B, already on it. Chords and Scales book in the shop. You can jump in and check that out there. Thank you very much, Lance. You were quick on the draw there. That's great. You beat me to it. Cool. So Lance B with that there. Mom's Day and Broken Piano, always something. No prob. Awesome. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up, I think. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Again, we will. I will be in touch in the forums and on Facebook as to whether or not we'll have a student review session tomorrow. It'll probably delete itself from the calendar if it does so. But yeah, I will try to make sure everyone knows as much as I can. So take care of yourselves. Have a great one, everyone. Get some rest. Have a nap. Naps are great if you can. Eat well, sleep well, drink well. All of the best to you all. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, and I will talk to you guys on Friday at the live stream. All right, I'm going to click the button now. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.